Welcome back to the Swang Low Podcast Show, man. It is yours truly, Do Rock Crip. What's happening with all my people out there in the free world today? It is an absolute pleasure to be at this round table to present to y'all another crazy prison story. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna hold y'all too long. You know what I mean? We're gonna go ahead and jump right into this thing. But right before we do, please take the time to like, comment, and subscribe to the Swang Low Podcast if you haven't already did it. I would greatly appreciate that. Okay, so bam, here we go, man. Okay, this happened to take place in Calipatria State Prison back in the year 2000. You feel me? We was on the B yard at that time. Okay, now I've described those times back then, you know what I'm saying, and us being probably one of the deepest cores on the yard as far as the Crips go, you know what I'm saying? Us and the Comptons, we was the deepest core on that yard, you know what I mean? It was like 20 something of them and like 20 something of us. So anyway, you know when you have that many homies around, you're gonna have all kind of different personality types, especially when you got different Crip sets that's combined together. You know what I'm saying? So you know, like we all know, you got riders from everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And with those riders comes, you know what I'm saying, different personality types. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, in the midst of y'all combining yourself together and riding as one, y'all get to know each other as time go on. You know what I mean? On the prison yard and in prison period. So bam. This is year 2000 on the B yard in Calipatria State Prison, right? Now, back then, I used to, I had my social circle outside of my homeboys, you know what I mean? And I dealt with like the crowd of the dudes that used to be rappers and into hip hop like that, you know what I'm saying? Which consisted of a little bit of everybody from everywhere. You know what I mean? So I would be off hollering at one of my partners, you know what I'm saying, from either the homie Face the Music, shout out to Face the Music, you know what I'm saying? I'd be with him, or I would probably be with my boy Low Key from Sacramento Flat Dog Crip. You know, that's typically, who was in that crowd right there, and the homie Ouija from Watts. Can't forget him. You know what I'm saying? But we that was like our everyday little group right there. You know what I'm saying? Outside of our cars where we was from. So anyway, I remember this particular day. I'm off hollering at them. You know what I mean? And we standing at the gate in the middle of the yard. Some of us would be on this side, some of us would be on the other side of the gate. So we'd meet up and you know what I'm saying, have our little get together circle right there. You know what I'm saying? If somebody had a new rap or something that they wanted us to hear, they bring that, or we'd just be talking about whatever, shooting the shit. So anyway, I'm over here chilling with them, and I remember the homie T-Dog from Trey 57, right? Now before I get into that, we on the yard, my homies is on the basketball court. They over there playing basketball. You know what I'm saying? And that day, I believe the people that was on that basketball court, it was quite a few of the homies out. We was always on the yard. But I know for certain K Love from West Covina neighborhood was on the basketball court. The homie Cartoon from Ghost Town, rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? That's who this story is about, those two, K Love and Cartoon. But he was on the basketball court. T-Dog from Trey 57 was on the basketball court. I know the homie Wack from Altadena Block was out there, uh, along with a few more homies, right? So bam, they all over there over in that area. I'm over here hollering at my boy them. So bam, the homie T-Dog from Trey 57 make his way over to me. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Creep, hey, check it out. So bam, I go holler at him, and he telling me, he like, hey, the homies just got into it on the basketball court. You know what I mean? So he tell me K Love and Cartoon get into it with each other on the basketball court, right? So bam, I'm like, oh. So he run down to me what was said by who, you know what I mean, and why it ended up getting to that point. So I'm like, damn, you know what I mean? So the homie Cartoon apparently had called K Love out his name. You know what I'm saying? They over there playing basketball with each other. I wasn't over there, so I didn't hear verbatim what was said by these two. I just heard that after, you know what I'm saying, from a couple of homies that was over there. So including T Dog. T Dog is running everything down to me while we walking back over to the basketball court, right? So I'm like, damn. So Cartoon apparently called the homie out his name. You know what I'm saying? Called him out for the fade and all that, right? Um, I believe they almost started fighting on the court, and the homies broke it up. So the talk kept going back and forth between the two. So I guess it came down to, okay, look, when they do the inline is a time period while you're out on the yard. The police will let you go inside the building to get out the heat, go in there, shower, and hang out in the day room for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So bam, I guess these two was like on inline, we gonna go in the building and go in your cell and get down. So K Love like, all right, bam. So when I get over there, there's nothing that I can contribute to that situation to calm it down because everything had already transpired before I got over there between these two. Man, you got to remember, I'm tight with K Love and I'm tight with Cartoon. You know what I'm saying? But I deal with him on two different levels because me and Cartoon more, he was into the rap stuff too. You know what I'm saying? So, and he's another one that used to be over there with me, like in those little circles and shit. But anyway, um, so I got good rapport with both his homies, right? So bam. When I get over there, everything has already been said and done. You see the tenseness is in the air between the two, right? Um, Cartoon pacing back and forth. Cartoon a tall black nigga, man. You know, Cartoon had that dirty left. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. Rest in peace to the homie, man. Shout out to the homies from Ghost Town too. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm telling the story, man, not to you know, shit on the homie Cartoon name or none of that. You know what I'm saying? Because like I say, he was my everyday. John was my everyday. You know what I mean? So me and him spent a lot of time together. You know what I'm saying? That's a fact. But this is just a story, man, of something that transpired back then that I hate that I wasn't able to stop from happening. Because like I said, I had very, very, very good rapport with both of these guys. But at the end of the day, if they decided as men that they wanted to get physical with each other to get out the way of whatever, you know, was going on between the two, then hey, as men, they got to handle that. So bam. Anyway, so when I get to the basketball court, I see the tenseness and all that. So I'm standing there tripping like, damn. So bam, then you hear the announcement over the PA system in line, right? So bam, everybody started making their way to K Love's building. K Love was in 2 block. All the other SGVs was in 1 block in my building. So bam, I'm like, this really finna happen. That's crazy. So the homies is telling me, they like, look, when we go in, just try to distract the police so the homie can make it inside the cell. So I'm like, all right, so that was my job. So when we go inside the building, I'm the first one to go in. So I go to they sitting at this podium. As soon as you walk in the building, the little podium is right there in the middle of the whole entire building. So I make my way straight to them and I start talking about some bullshit, but I got both of their attention. So while they focused on what I'm talking about, all my homies is going to K Love cell. So now that's only gonna take like a few seconds. You know what I'm saying? So what I wanted to do the distraction real quick, then make my way back there, right? So bam, then that's what I did. So, but I swear, and it didn't take no longer than probably 30 seconds at the most, 35 seconds at the most for them to make it inside the cell unseen by the police because I'm distracting them. So bam, by the time I finish doing what I'm doing with them, I turn around to walk back there. The homie Big Whack from Altadena block, right? He's walking from K Love cell. He like, oh, cuz on Altadena Block Crip, cuz the homie K Love got hands, cuz. Right? I said they fought already. He was like, yeah. I'm like, oh, I'm talking about quick, right? Fast, right? So I didn't get to see nothing. So now the other homies is walking back towards me, and then I see cartoon like kind of stumbling out the cell, right, holding his arm. So he walk up to me like I think I broke my arm, cuz I think I broke my arm, right? So I'm like, damn. I'm like, all right, just go back to the building, man, and go in the cell, clean yourself up and shit. You know what I'm saying? And find an ace bandage for your arm, right? So I go back there to K Love cell, right? He got the towel, cleaning up the floor, what's on the floor and shit. You know what I'm saying? Shaking his head like, shh. So bam, whack like, cuz the homie K Love knocked him out. I said, what? He like, cuz he knocked him out. That shit was fast, right? So now both of them is running down to me. What happened? So, like I said, Cartoon had that dirty left. So that was like the first thing he threw at K Love. And I believe he caught him a couple of times, right? But he wasn't a skilled enough fighter, bro. Sadly to say, up against somebody that was a little bit more skilled than him, and it cost him. And he was the one that called bro out for the fade. You know what I'm saying? Due to whatever was said between the two on the basketball courts. You know what I'm saying? So, at the end of the day, I felt that it could have been preventable, but at the same token, like I said, when it got to the point where it was at, by the time I made it over there, it was too far, too gone. You know what I'm saying? And as men, that's what they decided to do. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, I just remember that fight being quick, fast, and you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't get to see nothing. It was very quick. You know what I mean? So, I mean, Cartoon at the end of the day, man, he was who he was. You know what I'm saying? He didn't mark out. He didn't mark the game. I never seen him, you know what I'm saying, mark out in no situation when he was around me, ever. You know what I'm saying? And he took the fade with the homie. They, like I said, they decided as men to go in there and handle their business. And however it turned out is however it turned out. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I was just thinking about the homie Cartoon, you know what I'm saying? And that was a story that I wanted to bring to the round table, you know what I mean? Just thinking back on, a time, when the SGB was still strong, you know what I'm saying, in the jailhouses, and at that time we was extremely strong and pushing, you know what I'm saying, as a power force on that yard at that time when it was a whole bunch of other power forces there. You know what I'm saying, from different cars. Believe that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of big names, a lot of dudes that y'all now see on TV. We was all in the same prison, CALIPATRIA, at the same time in the same year. You know what I'm saying? Like Abdul, you know what I'm saying, who called himself Eddie Boy on YouTube. Crazo, Coach Zoe at the Game Bangers Life Coach, you know what I mean, on YouTube. Who else, man? Gumby from Nine Deuce Hoover, who y'all see on YouTube a lot, you know what I'm saying, as of late, you know what I'm saying. We was all in the same prison, man. You know what I'm saying, at the same time. You know what I'm saying? I had experiences with all of them, you know what I'm saying? Trust me, with all of them, you know what I'm saying? Along with a whole bunch of other different people. But yeah, man, I just wanted to bring that story to y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? Thinking about my boy Cartoon, God rest his soul again, you know what I'm saying? No disrespect to him, his family, or the ghost towns, you know what I'm saying? Like I told y'all, that was my boy. You know what I'm saying? He was my everyday, you know what I'm saying? But you know, and again, like I told y'all, he the one that called out the fade. Cartoon with no punk. Not at all. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna take your wins with your losses, man. You know what I mean? Like I've told y'all, you're not gonna find me like you see a lot of these other YouTubers jumping behind these cameras, lying like a motherfucker, talking about they never took no losses. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how do you learn to fight if you not take losses, if you not lose one here or there? It makes no sense. You know what I'm saying? You have to lose in order to learn. You know what I'm saying? And that's in everyday life. We learn that and see that in everyday life, all day, every day. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I just wanted to bring that story to y'all, to my roundtable family. You know what I'm saying? Give y'all something to eat up. You know what I'm saying? Off the menu today. You know what I mean? I appreciate you all taking the time out y'all day to come sit at this roundtable with me, man. You know what I'm saying? And walk through these stories with me. Shout out to all the new subscribers. I appreciate you all for choosing the Swang Low podcast to come be part of the family. You know what I'm saying? You're appreciated and loved and embraced here at this roundtable. But yeah, I'm finna let y'all get back to y'all, daily thing, man. I appreciate you again. Thank you. To the next time we meet at this round table. Y'all stay safe out there, man. Triple game.